production of Tales from the Four Corners. My name is Allison Ebner. I'm the co-director of the Children's Theater here, along with Jennifer Conley-Darling. We are working tonight with Young Michigan Dances out of Coldwater. We're so pleased to have them here to bring this presentation to you. You're going to see a lovely mix of storytelling, dancing tonight, and some different stories from around the world. We've had the opportunity to bring this program to the schools this week. We have 6 shows throughout the week. All of them are completely full. We had our first 2 shows today. The kids had a wonderful time. This is a grant-run program, so it's something we're able to provide to the schools free. That's why we're able to offer this program as well. I want to thank Diane Godfrey from Young Michigan Dances for this program, for working with us and choosing us to work with them. Cindy Bosma is our choreographer for this show. She's amazing. You're going to see some amazing dancers. We're so fortunate to have her here doing this with us. And Charles Burr is our writer-director and also in the show as well. And we're very fortunate to have him here and come back again. This is an ongoing program with us. We look forward to doing it every year. So we'd like you now to just sit back, relax, and please let them know you're enjoying it. I know we have some groups here that we're really happy to have here, so let them know you're enjoying it and have fun. Welcome.
What are you reading?
A book.
Well, I can see that. I just wondered what you were laughing at.
The story I just finished.
Which one was that?
It's called A Clothesline.
Not sure I remember that one.
But you read this whole book, didn't you?
Yes, but I'm afraid I've reached that point I don't remember them all.
It was written in India.
That doesn't help. Well, do you remember where India is?
I think so. Under China, right?
Yep, that's right.
Maybe if I read it to you,
Well, that's a good idea.
and maybe it will come alive for us.
We'll sit here where the light's back.
All right.
India, you said?
Yes. A clothesline. One bright hot day, a farmer sent up by his wife to plow the field.
The sun has risen. Why are you not in the field plowing? You said you would be finished before the midday meal.
I was just heading out to yoke the oxen.
Well, off with you. I have the cow to milk and the bread to bake.
Yes, my dear. I'm going now.
That man.
Well, my dear, I could only find one, and I looked everywhere. I guess we'll have to wait another day to plow the field. I mean, prepare to pull plow.
And you looked everywhere.
Yes, all around the pen and the house.
You there. Can you help us?
I think she means you.
We're short an ox. And if he doesn't plow today, we're going to be late with the planting.
Will you read it? I need to help them.
Sure.
And so the farmer yoked his team and got them to the field. No sooner had they started plowing the uneven ground than along came a visitor.
Peace be with you, friend. How are you this fine morning?
The farmer summoned his courage, thinking it best to be polite.
Never anger a tiger. Oh, the same to you, my lord. And I'm pretty well, thank you.
I'm glad to hear it, because Providence has sent me to eat your oxen. You are a God-fearing man, I know, so make haste and unyoke them.
Well, my friend, are you sure you're not making a mistake? Because my angry wife, Providence, sent me here to plow this field. And in order to plow the field, I must have the oxen. Shouldn't you make some further inquiries?
There is no occasion for delay. Unyoke them now.
No, please, don't eat them. They're old. and tough. I have this milk cow back at the dairy farm, and I could bring it for your dinner if you'd only but spare my oxen.
Young and fat?
Yes, she would be so tender. You want me to fetch her for you?
Very well, but hurry. I'm hungry.
And so the farmer hurried off to the farm,
Let me just take these oxen.
while the tiger paced, waiting for his dinner to be brought to him. The farmer's wife saw him return.
Lazy bones, back already, and my work barely begun.
The farmer told her of the tiger and his bargain.
A likely story, saving your old oxen at the expense of my beautiful cow. How are the children going to get milk? And how will I have butter for my bread?
Fine, but how will we have any bread? We can't have any corn if we don't have the oxen to plow the field.
Oh,
If you had an ounce of sense in your brain, you would think of a way to get us out of this predicament.
Well, think of one yourself.
Oh, very well. But if I have to do the thinking, you better obey orders. Go back to the tiger and tell him the cow wouldn't come, but that your wife is bringing her. Go.
The fearful farmer started back to the tiger
I hate going back to this tiger empty-handed.
and found the animal ready for his meal.
where is the milk cow?
Well, I couldn't catch her, but my wife is bringing her.
The farmer's wife pulled out her husband's best suit. She tied the turban high to appear as tall as possible. She grabbed a great spear and strode out into the field.
Now please the powers that I might find a tiger in this place. For I haven't tasted tiger's meat since yesterday. Oh, what a day that was. I had 3 for breakfast.
Hearing these words and seeing the great spear, the
Ah!
tiger ran away straight into the forest and straight into the jackal who followed him everywhere.
My lord, where are you going so fast?
Run! There is a tall hunter with a taller spear who thinks nothing of eating 3 tigers for breakfast.
The sun must have dazzled your eyes. That was only the farmer's wife dressed as a hunter.
Are you sure?
Quite sure. Maybe if the sun had not, dazzled your eyes, you would have seen the pigtail down her back.
But you might be mistaken. He was horrible to look at.
Are you afraid to see if I'm right?
Of course not. But you're afraid.
Let's go together.
You may take me there and then run away.
Let's tie our tails together.
Done.
And so they tied their tails together and set off arm in arm. Now the farmer and his wife were very pleased with how things had turned out, but then they spotted the animals advancing.
Run! We're lost!
Hush. How very kind of you, dear jackal, to bring me such a nice fat tiger. I shan't be a moment finishing my share of him, and then you can have his bones for your dinner.
tie your tail to a coward. So what was it you liked about the story?
It's funny,
Yeah.
but I really liked how the farmer's wife figured out how to save the day.
Right? But the farmer was just ready to cave into the tiger's demand. I know that's the thing. What about the jackal?
I looked up why the jackal follows the tiger around.
What did you find?
Jack eats up the bones and anything else the tiger leaves behind after he eats his dinner.
Right. The wife said something about that, didn't she? Where'd you next?
The next tale was told by the ancient Mayans right here in Central America.
Shall I read it or would you like to?
You better. I need to be the bluebird.
Zunno, the hummingbird, was created by the Great Spirit as a tiny, delicate bird with extraordinary flying abilities. She was the only bird in the kingdom who could fly backwards and who could hover in one spot for several seconds. Now at this time, the hummingbird was very plain. Her feathers had no bright colors, yet she didn't mind. She took pride in her flying skill. She was happy with her life and made all the other birds around her happy too.
Good morning, Mama. Good morning. I hope you're enjoying this fine weather. Hello, Cardinal. Are you feeling better today?
Yes, thank you, hummingbird. She always makes my day seem brighter.
She's so cheerful. It rubs off on me and suddenly I'm happy too.
Did you hear? Did you hear?
What is it, bluebird?
I have great news, flycatcher. You will like this, spider.
What is it?
Well, tell us. Hummingbird is to be married.
How wonderful! Oh, we should do something for her. Yes, for all the good cheer she's brought to us.
Well, what do you suggest?
I could get her a bunch of insects for a nice luncheon.
She doesn't eat insects like we do, only nectar from the flowers.
We should ask the bees to help us then.
Well, I was thinking we could make her a wedding dress.
I like that, spider.
Well, you birds are all so beautiful. Could you share some of your colorful flowers to help make a gown for her special day? Well, I could sew it together using strands from my web. I'd be glad to. That's so kind of you.
And so it was decided that the birds would donate some of their most colorful plumage for a wedding dress.
Here I have all these red feathers around my throat. You can have them. Just let me keep one.
You can take some from my ring.
I have plenty of red feathers. Here you are.
I have many colors. Take your pick of my turquoise and green. Oh, you're so thoughtful. Thank you.
The industrious spider sewed all the feathers into the most beautifully colored gown for the hummingbird. She also wove a web for a veil. On the special day, the bees brought nectar for the reception. The flowering trees rained down petals to cover the ground. The butterflies promised to dance. Soon, all was ready.
Surprise!
Oh, you have brought us so much happiness that we wanted to do something for you. Oh my!
The little hummingbird was so happy, she could hardly contain herself.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. So beautiful.
The Great Spirit so admired Hummingbird's humble and honest soul, he decided that she could keep her wedding dress for the rest of her day. Creation stories are stories that explain how people thought things might have come to be.
Oh, I see. I like the story because it showed all the animals coming together to do something nice for someone they like.
Do you have another story you want to share?
Yes, it's an adventure.
Good. A change of pace.
This one comes from ancient Greece, the story of Theseus and the Minotaur.
This happened many, many years ago. So long ago that the gods of Mount Olympus were still young. The island of Crete lies just south of Greece. King Minos was the first king of Crete. He was a good man and had married well. He ruled justly. He is pacing, for his wife is giving birth to their first child.
Oh, royal King Minos, you have a son.
Your son. How is my wife?
Oh, exhausted, sire, but well.
In 3 years' time, King Minos was pacing the floor again.
Sire, you have a daughter, a beautiful baby girl.
Ariadne. We shall call her Ariadne.
Oh, a name as beautiful as that baby.
7 years later, once more Minos paced, waiting for good news.
What's happened?
Oh, I'm afraid to tell you.
Speak.
Well, your wife is alive, but the child
Dead?
No, if only it were.
Tell me.
It is alive, sire.
And?
And it is hideously deformed. It doesn't look human. It has hooves instead of feet, and its face and its head. Don't make me tell you. We must kill it.
Yes. No, I cannot. We will hide it away. No one must know of it. Take it from the queen, make her think it is dead. I will find a home for it somewhere.
And that was the last kind thing King Minos ever did. 10 years later in Greece, the city-state of Athens is ruled by King Aegeus. His son, Theseus, has just returned from many adventures. Oh, my boy! It is so good to look up and see you here once more.
I have missed you, Father.
Tell me of your travels. Where have you been?
Many wondrous places.
I bring the yearly visit from King Minos. King Minos.
Stop! Is it the same as always?
It is.
No.
King Minos demands the tribute of 7 young men and 7 young women to be delivered to the labyrinth on the Isle of Crete. Father, what does this mean?
Oh, you have been away a long time. 3 years ago, King Minos sent his son to compete in our games. There was a terrible accident. A bull got loose and gored the young man to death. Minos has demanded this tribute ever since.
7 men and 7 women.
The people we send are sent to their death. There is a terrible monster in a great maze, a labyrinth under King Minos' palace. Even if you are lucky enough to avoid being eaten by the monster, they cannot find their way out.
Father, I will go as one of the 7 men.
No!
I will find a way to kill this monster and end all this senseless bloodshed.
You mean certain death?
My mind is made up.
There was nothing King Aegeus could say that would sway the headstrong Theseus.
The ship is loaded and ready to sail to Crete, but for you.
Promise me one thing.
Yes, Father.
The ship has black sails to honor those who are going to die in the labyrinth. If you slay the monster, on your return, change the sails to white, so I know ahead of time that you are alive.
I will, Father. I promise.
The ship sailed to Crete. Theseus stood on the deck, watching the figure of his father recede into the distance. He wondered what the Minotaur would look like.
And how can I defeat it? Will my sword and strong right arm be enough?
On Crete, King Minos stood in a high tower of his castle, watching the ship from Athens make port. Little did he know that down on the docks, his daughter Ariadne somberly watched the ship dock and discharge its doomed passengers.
Nurse, come here. Have the poor people of Athens been taken off the ship yet?
It is just happening now.
I feel so sorry for them. Look at the tall one.
The one with the sword?
Yes. Find out who he is. He does not look afraid. I might like to meet with him.
Yes, my lady.
He is handsome. I wonder who he is.
Oh, my lady! He is well born, I could tell just by speaking with him. And strong. Ooh. A young girl fainted as the guards told the prisoners of their fate. That young man picked her up as though she were a twig and carried her to the guardhouse.
We'll go and get him. I would like to speak with him.
Yes.
Could this be the man the oracle foretold would take me away from this hateful place? Can't bear to be near my father any longer.
What are you doing down here amongst all these doomed Athenians?
I was just about to tell this young man to be brave as he met his senseless fate.
Senseless? If I had my way, all of Athens would be wiped out. And it still would not be enough for the loss of my son. Who are you?
I am Theseus, son of King Aegeus.
Aegeus.
And I have come to slay this beast you keep hidden from the world.
Go on. Try. I will gladly let you keep your sword. The Minotaur will devour you as it has everyone else. And if by some stroke of luck you do succeed, you will never escape the labyrinth.
I look forward to the challenge.
Then you are a big as fool as your father. Go to your death, Athenian.
You seem very sure of yourself.
I know I can defeat the dreadful Minotaur. I only hope I can find my way out after I do it.
Nurse, go and get my sewing basket. There is a way. I will give you a skein of thread. Leave it behind you as a trail to guide you on your way out of the labyrinth. Take it. Take it. I will be waiting for your successful return.
I will come back to you. Knowing that I am doing this with your support makes me even more determined.
Good luck. What have I done?
Theseus entered the labyrinth, listening for any sound of the Minotaur. At the mouth of the labyrinth, Ariadne and the nurse waited.
You must calm yourself.
Do you really think he can do it?
Well, of course he can. And you gave him the key to his success.
Oh,
you did. Now, he might have had the strength to defeat the Minotaur, but you had the intelligence to show him how to find his way out of that deadly maze.
You did it!
Thanks to you.
Well, you must leave Crete before the king finds out.
Yes,
Take me with you.
I couldn't leave without you.
Then go.
Theseus had not only slain the Minotaur, but he was able to rescue the 13 other Athenians meant to be devoured. They all set sail for Athens. On the way, they stopped at the island of Naxos.
Wait a minute. I hate this part of the story.
What?
Read ahead. After helping Theseus survive, he leaves Ariadne on the island for no good reason, where she dies.
Athena, the goddess of wisdom, tells him to do it in a dream.
But she doesn't give a reason. It's stupid.
Well, in another version, Dionysus, the god of wine, finds Ariadne and elevates her to being immortal.
That's at least better.
And there's still another version where Theseus is told by Dionysus to leave her behind, and where Dionysus fights a whole battalion of mermaids who kill Ariadne.
That's worse. I found an ending on mine. Here.
Theseus and Ariadne stood on the prow of the ship together, the perfect blending of strength and intelligence. They were so in love that they forgot everything else. Theseus forgot his promise to change the sail from black to white, to signal his father, King Aegeus, that he had been victorious. From afar, the king saw his ship returning, the black sail billowing in the wind. Not waiting to learn all the facts, he threw himself into the sea and drowned.
It's so sad.
Yes. If King Aegeus had not acted so impulsively, he could have found out the truth.
I like that they named the Aegean Sea after him.
Oh, and what do we call that?
Oh, it's sort of like creation myths.
Right. I think we need a story that's a little happier.
I have just the one. It's funny and just a little bit spooky.
Oh, where'd it come from?
From down near the coast of South Carolina and Georgia.
The Girl and the God. Once upon a time, when pigs could fly and turkeys danced farmyard jigs, there lived a little girl named Melindy. She loved to sing and dance. She sang and danced every chance she got.
Every chance is right.
Now Melindy thought that
I mean, she wakes up singing. She dances on her way down to the breakfast table. But she sings with her mouth full of flapjacks. And then she dances as she helps me do the dishes. Now she is off singing and prancing to milk the cow. Do you have any idea how tiring that is?
well,
I mean, I'm glad she's happy, but sometimes a body needs some peace and quiet. Well, go on. Don't let me stop you.
yes, where was I? Oh, Melindy finished her milking and danced her way back to her mother.
Here, Mama.
Oh, good. Melindy, now, I want you to go down to the market where your papa is selling fish.
Yes, Mama.
All right, now off with you. And be very careful with that milk. A nice full pail like that should fetch a good price.
Yes, Mama. Bye.
And off Melindy went down the dirt road to the market.
Singing, I bet.
Singing.
I've got my milk pail and I'm going to the market.
And right then, Melindy tripped on a rough place in the road.
Oh no! I spilled all the milk. Papa will be mad and I'll get no supper.
Melindy spilled all the milk and all over herself, too. And just at that moment, she heard a sound behind her.
What is it?
It was a kind of creature she'd never seen before.
Hello? Who are you?
Hello, little girl. I've been looking for someone like you.
You're a monkey, right?
No.
Well, you're sure something I've never seen before.
I am someone that can help you.
You can?
Though you will be my first case.
Okay.
I can put the milk back in your pail.
That would be nice.
It's easy, but I want something in exchange.
Okay, what about my dress? Can you fix that too? Mama will be really cross when I go with it dirty.
Oh, that is easy to fix.
So, what do you want from me? I don't owe you much.
I just want a promise from you to give me your soul when you pass beyond this earth.
I want to stay here a long time.
How long?
At least as old as my mama. 29 years.
I can do that for you, Melindy. I'll restore your milk and fix your dress like new. I'll give you 29 years, and at the end of that time, you will give me your soul.
It's a deal.
Let's seal it with a dance.
herself, her soul? Well, time sped by. Soon Belindy was in her 29th year. She was grown up.
I have children of my own now.
She'd forgotten all about her promise to the goblin.
I can't think of much of anything when my 2 children dance around the kitchen.
One morning, there was a commotion in the air around her. Everything turned red.
I'm coming after you right now.
And lo and behold, the goblin was standing before her.
I remember you. How are you doing?
Aren't you afraid of me? Well, I'm doing fine. But I've come for your soul. You promised, remember?
That's right, I did. Hold on one moment. I'll go and get it for you. Here it is.
That's it?
Sure is.
Belindy had been totally true to her word. She gave the goblin the sole of her shoe.
Thought it would be bigger.
That's it. My soul.
Wait a minute.
Happily ever after. Well, Belindy, that is. For a goblin can only get your soul, or your soul, but one time. After that, he has to quit. Belindy was really clever. And I've never read that one.
Maybe it's time for one more.
I think we do. Oh, what will it be?
There's this adventure story from Japan.
Oh, okay, what's it called?
It's called A Tale of the Oki Islands, but I'd like to call it Tokoyo Saves the Day.
The Oki Islands, a weird, wild, and rocky group of islands off the southwest coast of Japan. In ancient times, they were the scene of strife, of sorrow, and of banishment. Now, on the main coast of Japan, in a very small town, lived Ori Shima. He was a samurai under the protection of the emperor, and he had a daughter named Tokoyo.
Daughter, I have disastrous news.
What is it? What's happened?
I have displeased the Emperor.
How?
I do not know what I have done, but he has sent for me. I must go to him and receive my punishment.
No!
I must. It is my duty. You're old enough to take care of yourself. Stay here and wait for my return.
Nothing she could say could sway the samurai's resolve. After a last goodbye, he began the long journey to the city to learn his fate. Tokoyo waited and waited for her father to return.
Tokoyo, a wanderer came to our house. He heard news about your father.
Yes?
He's been banished to the Oki Islands.
I knew it. I knew he must have been sent there when he did not return.
What will you do?
Father bade me stay here, so I shall, until he returns.
Tokoyo cried many tears when she was alone and no one could see. Finally, after a few more months, she realized what she must do.
I must go to him.
But how?
I will risk all and try to reach my father, or die in the attempt.
I know you're brave, but
Father always said I was.
Tokoyo was brave as a child. She had loved to dive with the women whose daily duty it is to collect a wabi and pearl oyster shells from the bottom of the sea. She knew no fear.
When will you leave? As soon as I can sell some things for my father's ransom and gather some supplies.
Tokoyo set out on her journey at daybreak. It was a long way along the rugged coast until she came to a village where, on clear days, you could just see the Oki Islands in the distance.
Ho, stranger! We don't see many travelers around here.
I've come to see the Oki Islands. Will you take me?
Oh, are you crazy? We are not allowed to land our boats on the shore. Only those who have been banished by the emperor live there, in poverty and hardship.
I have to go find my father.
Well, you can ask anyone who has a boat. None of us will sail there. Go home.
What was she to do?
I'll wait until dark, and then go to the island.
Tokoyo ate a meager meal and tried to sleep. She woke to a pitch-black, starless night. She found a small boat, left some money for the owner, and pushed it into the water. She rowed towards the distant island. A wind sprang up, helping to carry her there. She barely had enough strength to pull the boat onto the shore, and then slept, exhausted. She awoke refreshed and eager to find her father. She met a young girl on the road.
Excuse me, have you heard of my father, or Yipshima?
I have not. And it would be better if you do not ask anyone else. For if he has been banished here, you will get into trouble, and he might be put to death.
What was Tokoyo to do?
I must not put him in danger. I will wander these fishing villages, listening to people's conversations. Maybe I'll hear word of him.
Tokoyo went from settlement to settlement, listening to gossip about those banished to the island. But she never heard his name. She never heard anything that might help her find him. She used up her money. Soon she was begging for food, but she would not give up.
I know I can find him if I can just hang on long enough.
That night, she came to a little cave of rocks where there stood a holy shrine.
Please help me find my father.
She lay down, intending to pass the night there, for it was a peaceful and holy spot, well sheltered from the wind. Tokoyo had slept about an hour when she heard, in spite of the dashing of waves against the rocks, a curious sound.
No! You must be a stranger here. This awful business is hateful to all of us. But we are cursed by an evil god on this island. He lives at the bottom of the sea and demands once a year a girl to be sacrificed. If the villagers neglect this, he becomes angered, and he causes great storms, which drown many of our fishermen.
Holy monk, let this girl go. I will willingly take her place and offer myself to the sea monster. I searched in vain for my dear father. My heart is broken. I'm glad to save this girl. Please, just take this letter, which is addressed to my father. All I ask is that you try and deliver it to me.
So saying, Tokoyo took the white robe off the younger girl. She knelt and prayed for strength and courage. Tokoyo drew a small and beautiful dagger which had belonged to one of her ancestors. And with that, she dove into the roaring sea and disappeared. Tokoyo swam downwards through the clear water, which was illuminated by bright moonlight. Down she swam, passing silvery fish, until she reached the bottom. There she found herself opposite a cave, resplendent with the phosphorescent lights issuing from the pearls that glittered in the open shells. As Tokoyo looked, she seemed to see a man in the cave. Was this the sea monster? Fearing nothing, she approached, holding her dagger ready to strike. It was no monster, only a wooden statue of the emperor who had exiled her father. She thought to take her anger out on the statue with the dagger. She thought, I would rather do good than evil. She decided to take it ashore, rescue it from the ocean. Not only with the statue of the Emperor, but the body of the sea monster, to prove that this island would no longer be tormented.
You did it! Yes.
I remember this. This statue was cursed and thrown into the ocean by a man who was in exile here. The Emperor has suffered many illnesses from that moment on. Well, he must be told that the curse has been lifted.
A messenger was dispatched to the palace. The Emperor was cured now that his likeness was out of the water. He was so grateful to Takoyo that
The Emperor has released my father.
Takoyo, who decided to do good rather than evil, was reunited with her father.
The Emperor is so proud of you that he has given me back my land.
They lived in peace and comfort the rest of their days. I did. That's another story I don't think I've ever read.
I really enjoyed seeing all the stories come to life.
Me too.
Just like I imagined it. Could we do it again sometime?
Sure.
Well, I've been to the library, and I have a few books to choose from.
Well, let's get started. Q&A here, although first let's introduce ourselves.
Sure, hello, my name is Jocelyn Franke. I live in Michigan, but I do work here at the Franke Center. I direct productions for the Franke Center Children's Theater. So come on down and audition for us.
My name's Charlie King, Chucky King, and I act around and I'm playing a junk band called Deep Fried Pickle Project. We play here.
I'm Janet Lucci. I'm a junior at Western Michigan University and I'm a dance major.
Hey, I'm Bo Hutchings. I live in New York, but I'm from Marshall, and I got my start right on the stage, so it's good to be back.
I'm Madison Bosma and I live in Plano, Michigan. I'm 13 years old and dance at Petty High School Dance.
I'm the artistic director of the Tibbetts Summer Theater down in Coldwater. We've been doing projects with Young Michigan Dancers for a number of years down there and up here. I'm also the adapter and director of the show tonight. So.
I'm Eliana Ebner. I'm from Marshall. I'm 13 14, I dance at the Repertoire Dance Company, and I do theater too.
You want to come up? Why not? So, our choreographer, Lila. So, question? Be brave. Well, if kids have questions, it's something. Come on.
47.
29.
I have a question.
Sure.
How long have you been working on this, Charles, and how long have the performers been learning their lines and their choreography? How long, I mean, weeks, months, years?
No, because I probably wrote it in 2 months' time. We rehearsed it for 8 days from the acting point of view, a couple days before for dance. So it came together within 10 days altogether.
How many Broadway shows have you been in though?
I've been in 5 Broadway tours, national tours that go around to like Miller Auditorium and Wharton Center, but I haven't done a show like they call In Town in New York yet, so that's my next venture, just to stay in New York, not pack up my suitcase every week, just, tough it out. Good question. Yes?
Why did you choose these stories?
Well, as I mentioned in that little program note, we've been really sort of looking for stories that have very strong female protagonists. The lead, the person that the story is about, is a resourceful woman, a young woman in particular. We just are really big on role models, and these stories fit that bill. Because even the story that is technically about Theseus, who's the intelligent one, well, he just wants to go fashion away. Well, she knew how to get in and out. So I think that's where these from. We also wanted sort of a worldwide perspective, and I bet they're stories that most of you haven't heard from. The Greek one's pretty darn famous, but the rest, well, not so much, but I think they're good stories, and it's always fun to hear new things.
Who made all the costumes?
Why, another person that could come up on stage, Allison.
We had about a week as well. We did this in 1 week to get these costumes together. We started Monday of last week.
No time wasted. Go ahead.
How did you choose the cast? Like, how did you manage to all those?
That is really a joint effort. Jennifer Darling did a lot of that, as well as Allison. That we sent out to feelers to see if Bo was interested. Once I knew that I had a strong male dancer, it changed the dynamic of the show, so I was very glad to know that really before I was writing. But then Cindy has always, in the last 15 years that we've been doing this, scouted dancers that she's been working with constantly so that she knows that they are of the ability, that things go fast, and then it's sort of a networking. I've worked countless times with Jocelyn in various places, and even more. Before, but Jenna is brand new. These two I had last year in my show, so that we said, let's do it again.
It's always hard to choose dancers that can open their mouths on stage because we're not used to that. So it's always nice when they can. So I think we can do that.
So are the music for the folk show, are they from the actual country the folk show is from?
The music's authentic. I mean, thank heavens for YouTube because that's what I found most of it. But yeah, I had done the play first, tried to get a gist of the feeling of it, and then went to that ethnicity to try and find
The
cultural-
only one that is different is that the true pas de deux for Ariadne and Theseus is Russian, right? So, but then it's Greek for when we fight the Minotaur. But we really wanted an all-out good couple dance, and those Russians know how to do it. So, spotlight, track record. Yeah.
Could you guys just state your favorite part of the character?
Oh, it's so hard, I don't know. It's, if I had to pick the spider, because I love the costume.
I would say the Minotaur. I don't play him here, but like off stage mostly is when I.
Never appear on stage at all.
Well, that is a pretty good one too.
My most favorite character to watch is the Goblin, but to choreograph it was the Minotaur. It was the most challenging because of their sizes. But yeah.
I would say my favorite is Ariadne because it feels like it comes more naturally, I guess.
Yeah, I want to change my answer from earlier today, actually. I said Theseus earlier, but I feel like today I have more fun with the Goblin. So it depends on like how I'm feeling that day. Like it's fun to play like the straight laced kind of straight man character, but then sometimes it's fun to like be the goofy troll, like let your energies fall out. I think I like doing that.
I like the Minotaur and Melindy. It was fun.
Well, I watch it all every night, so I mean it's hard, but I do like the pas de deux is very special just because it is very well. But I also love that under the sea dance. I think it just works really, really well, and again tells the story of what's going on. And
I really liked Koyo because I like my costume, and I liked the Bluebird because I like my costume.
I like making the sea monster because I like to make sparkly things. And I love when I get to put something shiny on stage. So.
I like the birds. They're very colorful.
back there once. Did you have something? Yes.
Yes, Jocelyn, which do you like doing better, performing or directing?
Oh, that's a tough one. You're gonna make me pick? I love working with children. I do. I feel like my heart is really in children's theater. However, when I go for a long time without performing, I start to get this itch. And so it's really nice to get back on stage and remember what you fell in love with in the first place. And then to help bring that to younger kids.
Does both. I think the best directors are the people who actually still act, because it keeps it truthful, it keeps it just how you can communicate to your other actors. It is so much easier, and I make a point of actually hiring directors down at Tibbet that were at least once actors, because they just have a whole different vocabulary to help people get the job done fast. So.
That one's been up for a long time.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
What is your favorite story
Favorite story of what?
of the cities and countries?
Oh, of this show? Kind of like, you know what, actually, I really like the Ecuador Cardinal #2. I think it's so sweet. I think it's just nice to have like a sweet story. A lot of them, there's heart in all of them, but I find that one really sweet as well.
We love you both.
Oh, we love it.
For those of you that are still in school, what are your goals for acting?
I'm not still yet.
So, I'm a junior right now, so that means that next spring I'll be auditioning for as many things as possible, really. I teach right now in the studio. I'm definitely going to keep teaching after I graduate. I want to get certified in various things like mat work, Pilates, and yoga. I'm not really sure what kind of yoga yet, but yeah, so a bunch of different things.
You have any ideas?
Well, I really love dance, and so I want to continue that somehow in college and after. Might as well like tennis since I want to be a dancer and actress.
All right, anything else? Otherwise, oh, go ahead.
Like what character can you guys relate to?
You change my answer? No. I guess Lucius, because he's just like that dude, you know? Like every dude kind of just has that dude mentality. Go for it kind of thing. Yeah, with my strong right arm being out. Not that. And you said Ariadne, of course.
No, I really thank you.
Right.
Yeah, maybe Toyo because the way that she has to like pull together that resolution.
Second by second.
All right, last one.
How many years have you guys been doing theater?
A lot! A lot! Many, many, many years.
My first show, I started when I was 12 years old. Yeah. And that was a long time ago. I'm not going to give that away.
I started in kindergarten. Children's theater.
Kindergarten.
I'm only counting from when I was paid. But that is 42 years, so. I think that's everything. So, go ahead, take that.
Well, thank you all for coming. We're very pleased that you could be here with us this evening. Thank you for joining us, and we hope that some of your kids are coming in the next few days. And we do thank you for your